Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to another new moon reading with Erica Delta. So we just kind of rolled out of bed this morning to beat the heat. It's really, really yummy out here. There's little hummingbirds and bees doing their morning chores. It's really nice out here. So let's just take a moment. Our circle is cast in spirit and light, and everything that is holy and right. Calling in Archangels Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, and Uriel to hold space for us as we move deeper into the mysteries. We have a Metatron with us, Raziel, Michael, and Zadkiel, bringing us wisdom about mercy, intuition, presence, staying present, and security, which goes right in hand with our new moon of Gemini. If you know or not, I've been really open to studying astrology right now, something that I've been totally resisting for years. I would go around saying astrology is not my thing. Each witch has her act and her tools that she uses, or he, and astrology is not my thing. For years I've been saying that, just resisting, but it's always showed up. And some months ago, fell upon this book that just the choir is saying it was so amazing. And it's kind of interesting because my new moon reading I'd been working on prior to this book coming into my life. But I know that it was one of the last tools that I needed to make this card spread stronger. So, yeah, I've been studying about Gemini's new moon. And that energy is learning. Communication and listening is a part of that communication, not just speaking your truth, but really being present, an active listener, I like to call it, just really listening, not just to those around you, but to the messages of spirit. A lot of times, we want so eagerly to listen and hear for Spirit's messages. We get really, really excited when we first start learning about angels and how to communicate with them. And I've been finding this recently in a lot of my sessions. People are expecting some kind of fireworks show. And for like the angels to just start dropping out of the sky and handing you an envelope and say, here's the map. It doesn't really work like that. Spirit messages are very subtle. They're in the trees. They're in whatever little animal scurries along your feet. They're in songs, images, a lot of images. In places you wouldn't expect them. Like standing in the middle of the grocery store. You look over at like the magazine rack, and then a couple of words just seem to pop out at you, and that's it. That's the angels talking to you. It's numbers. For me personally, it's 3 of the same number in sequence. That's always huge. Nature, like I said. So, learning to trust the signs around you, but know that they're subtle. And this new moon in Gemini is about actively listening for those subtle messages from Spirit, communication, positive daily action. Let's start laying out the cards because all this energy is just moving through me right now. This early morning reading is going to be really powerful because I can just feel it all tell them this, tell them that. And so let's get the cards out. This is the new moon reading for Gemini, June, the month of June. And before we keep going, let me, I can hear all the beautiful bees in the jasmine behind me. It's just so magical. Okay, so today is Saturday, June 4th, and this is the new moon reading for Gemini. Second quarter is Sunday, June 12th. Full moon is Monday, June 20th, and that's a Capricorn moon. Also, for any pagan practitioners out there, it begins summer solstice and Litha celebrations. Fourth quarter is Monday, June 27th. So those are the dates for you if you do any magical work or plan life according to the moon cycles to keep your own energies balanced. There's that for you. Okay, so in the new moon spot we have Jophiel. That's the star tarot card. So a really happy time, which is really nice to start a new moon off in some happy energy. And again, Gemini is about listening and learning from what you're listening, or just learning to be an active listener, a good listener. Communication, not just with those around you, but communicating with spirit. When you're talking to spirit, when you're doing your daily prayers, you need to be really clear on what it is that you want. Because if your prayers are flip-floppy and a little bit of this and a little bit of that, if your intent isn't solid, it will show up in your life. So if you feel like things are just on a roller coaster, or you start to get close to your goals and then it feels like some magical strings pulling them away from you, that's not anything outside of yourself. That is you not really being clear on your intent. Yeah, sorry to break the bad news, but we can't blame the angels. We can't say God's not listening to my prayers. If it feels like your goals come and go, and there's like some invisible force pulling them away from you, like a yo-yo or something. That took me years to figure out, and it wasn't anything outside of myself. I wasn't clear on what my intent was. I'd start to get close to my dreams and goals, and I'd get really scared and be like, oh my God, can I really handle this? And so that energy would pull it all back, and the universe would say, okay, you're not ready, I'll take it back. So that yo-yo feeling in your life, that back and forth, that some good days, some bad days stuff, nothing outside of yourself is doing that. That is you needing to fine-tune your frequency. And this month, this morning, is a really good time to start that. Get into some really beautiful meditation this morning. Set up a ritual and just go in deep. Communicate clearly to yourself. What is my goal? What is my intention? And start small. If there's some big project you got on hand, start with baby steps. I'm always about baby steps. What's that one small step that you can take that won't feel so overwhelming? And then when you reach that, add another one and another one. Eight of Earth, definitely in second quarter, definitely about learning or maybe refreshing the skills that you already have. Maybe you haven't pulled out a magical book in a long time. Maybe you just think you know every spell there is to know. Maybe you need to pull out the books and just review. I know a friend of mine and I are starting a New Year in a Day study sometime this month. Our schedules haven't been able to meet quite right now, but the beginning part of this Year in a Day study for both of us is going to be a lot of review, and that's good. You don't want to get crusty in your practices. So reviewing, refreshing, hit the reset button around second quarter, or start something new. Maybe they're part of this new goal that you have. requires that you pick up some books on Amazon or go down to local library. Always support local libraries, and get some books on the subject, or take a course in the evenings. But Gemini energy, also learning, get active in it's the daydreaming is a little behind us right now. It's not about daydreaming right now. It's actively being involved in what it is that you want to create and manifest. As we move into the full moon of June, which is Capricorn, and Capricorn is more of a business-like energy, organizing. It's gonna kind of pull what we start working on right now, and whatever books we collect or classes that we think we need to take for whatever we're working on and manifesting right now. Is going to start to balance and organize that energy. So you'll go down to the library and pick up a bunch of books that are just exactly what you need. You know how those books drop off the shelf, that kind of energy. And you'll come home, be all excited. Okay, which one do I start? I want to read them all at once. Yeah, guilty. And then the full moon in Capricorn is going to help organize you, make a list, or just start at the top of the pile and work through them. Do a chapter of each night. I'm just sharing how I organize my books when I start reading a lot of books at once. So the full moon balances out all the action that we just kind of like, I want to do this and go there, and as it all starts to come together in this Gemini, the full moon just balances out, makes it more organized. Okay, we're going to work on this now, and then this, and just brings that flow out. It's still action orientated. And at fourth quarter, you just feel the flow. By the end of the month, it's that summertime energy. Just everything is moving and happening, and barbecues and just that interaction, going down to the river or whatever your water source is around you. It's just being in that flow of abundance. The gardens are just starting to show all the abundance that there is flowing through your life. It ties in really nicely towards the end. So what I'm really, really hearing for this month is, if you are, like myself, learning about the planets and the zodiac signs and how their energy really moves through your life, and kind of feels like a strong word, but it's what I keep hearing, dictates. These energies really dictate how things are going to flow. And when you really tap into it, you can learn to better plan your day. And then every day becomes a good day. Doesn't matter, like, if this is squaring that, or that's trying that. If you're conscious of it, and you will plan accordingly. I know for me, the past weeks has been really helpful. I've been going through so much trying to move into this new home and still keep my practice flowing, and then you put the mom hat on, and it's like a lot of stuff going on, but knowing what the planets are doing, understanding each zodiac sign's energy and how that moves through my own system helps me plan and move through the day. So this Gemini new moon, listen. Learn to listen. We all have an inner ability, this cool little gadget within, to listen to spirit. There's guidance and clear knowing for each one of us, whatever our path, whatever our journey. But you guys, if I haven't said it in every video, I would be very surprised. You need to have a prayer and meditation practice. It just needs to be right up there with brushing your teeth, oil pulling, eating healthy, your daily exercise routine. It just needs to happen. If you want to have this open communication and dialogue and a relationship with Spirit, if you want to have a relationship with Spirit, there needs to be a daily prayer and meditation practice. I wish I could tell you, no, just go about your business and he'll shoot you an email whenever he's got time. Doesn't work like that. And that's really the energy here right now. If you don't have a daily prayer and meditation practice, get on that. Otherwise, the messages, they will come through. It's just that yo-yo feeling. It's the back and forth. There's no consistency in it. And this really is a safe and secure time right now. Zadkiel wants you to know that it is really safe and secure right now to create a daily spiritual practice and to look for resources. 8 of Earth, he's saying. There are resources out there. Allow us to guide you, because it can get overwhelming. Do I go to that person? Is this my teacher? It can feel overwhelming. So again, you want to tap into the solar plexus, and come on, like, you can be in the middle of a big, huge room with a lot of people, and just as you're standing there scanning your scene, you feel like, oh, I think I want to go talk with that person, or oh, I'm just going to stay way over here on the side of the room away from that person. That's your inner guide. You know when you walk into a store and you see a pair of shoes and you're just like, oh my gosh, I have to have it, and you drop everything in your hands just to take that one pair of shoes? Ever happened to you? That's your inner guide. I know, shoes, crazy, but that's your inner guide. That's how it works. I have to have that piece, and you still have them 20 years later? That was your inner guide. So those are kind of silly examples, maybe. Not the people one, because your inner guide really tells you. But what happens is we ignore it. We ignore it. And Zadkiel wants you to know that it is safe. Right now, in this time, space, reality, it is safe to listen to the inner guide. It is safe to move with your intuitive knowing. I know for many of us, we come from past lives where the times were, believe it or not, harsher than they are today. And a lot of us had some spiritual developments that were pretty intense, pretty traumatizing, being burned, prosecuted for truths that were not. So we have some of that residual memory still floating within us, and he's saying it's safe in this lifetime. It's safe to awaken and remember what it is to follow the guidance, to have that open dialogue with Spirit and the angels. You have a really strong intuitive knowing. Your intuition is powerful, and now is the time to tap into that. think that's it, you guys. Recap, this new moon in Gemini, communication, learning to communicate clearly, to communicate with spirit. Make sure that you have a daily prayer and spirit meditation practice. Well, your spiritual practice is that daily prayer meditation. Learning to listen is huge. An active movement towards your goals right now is where you want to be. And as we come into the full moon, it will start to balance out. Like right now, you're just, get out there, get your books, sign up for the courses, send out the invitations, get the web page going, be active. Now is the time to be actively learning and doing and manifesting all the thoughts that we've been preparing. And by the full moon, it just will all take its balance and its course and really feel more business-like and organized. But right now is time for action. And by the end of the month, you will just feel that flow of abundance and just that clear, intuitive knowing that I am moving in the right direction. All is well. I am aligned with the cosmos. I'm here to serve and help. That's that feeling we're going for. If you're watching this video, that's the feeling that we're going for, okay? We got this. Our circle is open but not broken. I want to give thanks to the angels, ancestors, Great Spirit, and all its forms for being here with us today and making this video possible. Thank you to you for watching. And remember, if you feel called to share this with somebody, please do. That's how we work, the collective consciousness, and as a tribe, a big, happy, spiritual tribe out there. If you know somebody who needs these words right now, pass it on. All right? You guys have a beautiful, beautiful June. Stay cool. And we'll be back next month. Love always.